Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh yeah, Fractal Bitcoin. What's happening, everyone? This is your daily Bitcoin news video. Let's get right to it. This is the Bitcoin price right now. Yep, we're hanging right around $59,000. Yeah, yesterday we went all the way down to 56,500, and so we've come up about 2,500 since then. Overall, look, we're just sort of consolidating sideways. None of this is a big deal, and there are reasons for it. In fact, before we get to the ETF news, this is from legend Peter Brandt, and look at this. This is very interesting. This is back from November to February area, this part of the chart right here, and you could see there was a hump, then there were some slumps, then there was a bump, then there was a dump, and then there was a pump. And we went to all-time highs. But look, the hump, slump, bump, dump, pump pattern, oh my God, it's a mouthful. It's repeating itself. A hump, a slump, a bump, and a dump. But guess what's next? Pump. There we go. And yeah, yesterday was an extremely bad day for Bitcoin ETF flows, with all ETF providers experiencing outflows. The total amount reached 563.7 million in outflows. Yeah, so, and by the way, this post, I linked to everything below, but this post is pretty good because he goes into some detail. Even shows this chart here, which you can see right near me. This is the red outflows. It's the biggest outflow we've ever had. Yeah, now you can see them all. Okay. Yeah, so, all right, well, look, we know this can't happen forever. These types of outflows, the time is limited. They only have so much to outflow, honestly, in terms of grayscale. And now here, Hong Kong, speaking of ETFs in Hong Kong, the Bitcoin ETFs in Hong Kong had a $292 million of inflows on the first day. That's almost 30% of Bloomberg's estimate of $1 billion in 2 years. So they were thinking, They were thinking it was going to bring in $1 billion over 2 years. And yeah, the first day, it brought in 30% of that. So the demand is off the charts. The Bitcoin ETFs are a big deal. And this is just the beginning. We're still in the very, very, very beginning, really. I mean, it hasn't even been 4 months since the US approved the spot Bitcoin ETFs, right? So, yeah, but the big news of the day is MicroStrategy Orange. MicroStrategy unveils inscription-based digital IDs specification and enterprise platform. And here's Michael Saylor saying, wouldn't it be great if instead of a blue check, green check, etc., there was an orange check that was a global standard? With MicroStrategy, maybe we can approach this idea of decentralized identity with Bitcoin. Yeah, he said in the announcement about this, and this is an article, I'll link to it. This is causing quite a stir in the Bitcoin community because, I don't know if you know, but the ordinals and the runes and all these other things that they're shoving into the Bitcoin blocks, most Bitcoiners don't like that. But you can't, I mean, it's possible to do, so people are doing it, so you can't stop it. So Bitcoiners have to be okay with that. Well, what MicroStrategy is doing with Orange, it's the same thing. They're going to be stuffing data into each block and all that. And so, you know what? Let me skip forward to this. Yeah. So you have people who are anti-ordinals, but they're pro Michael Saylor. And what do they choose? How do they handle this situation, right? So, but here's Vtor Pamplona. He's the creator of the Amethyst app, which is a Nostr app for Android. I don't know if he's coming out with iOS, but this is the Android app to use. Amethyst is a great one. I guess Primal is also good. I don't know, but Amethyst is the one I've always used. It's a great Nostr app for Android. Anyway, he made 2 posts. I'll link to him because he's talking about a lot of technical stuff here that I don't really understand. So he says here, what Saylor clearly doesn't understand is that digital IDs are already decentralized by definition, Adding a blockchain method doesn't make it more decentralized. The user's choice of method is the decentralization feature, like choosing which relays you want to use. Yeah, and then here he says, Saylor's trying to create a trust anchor. But since anyone can create their own DID to BTC, I don't know what that is, without MicroStrategy's approval, lots of spam, the anchor must be MicroStrategy's KYC platform. So anyway, look, this is literally the first day these guys who are more technical are weighing in on this, and I'm trying to learn and read. But yeah, at the bottom here, he says, like Odell would say, orange checks are just blue checks from a different company. So I guess sort of the argument is that I don't know if this is all necessary, but again, Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy, they're trying to build, they're trying to innovate. I mean, look, we got to see where it goes, I guess, right? This is the first day, and I'm not a technical person, and I don't know everything. You know, I'm not a Bitcoiner who knows everything about Bitcoin. I'm the opposite. I'm pretty new into Bitcoin, but I've been paying attention for about 6 years. So I kind of know a lot from a high level, but not from a very detailed level. And Arcanox, our buddy who was on the Bitcoin panel a few weeks ago, he says digital ID is just a way to make KYC feel more decentralized. And KYC is know your customer. That means that's when you have to give all your information, your email, your birth date, your social security number, all that stuff. So he's saying that the digital identity is just a way to make KYC feel more decentralized. Again, I haven't seen a lot of arguments about this yet, but tomorrow on the Bitcoin panel, we are going to discuss MicroStrategy Orange. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'll talk about that later. Yeah, but more bad news, as Mandrick says, with Wasabi coordinator service shutting down. If you care about Bitcoin privacy, look into Jam. It's an easier to use implementation of Join Market. Or you can do nothing with your UTXOs and hope for a better solution in the future. Yeah, which honestly, that's what a lot of people are going to do, especially if you're just holding your Bitcoin. But this sort of CoinJoin service is where people they send in their Bitcoin and it gets mixed up, and then it gets sent back to them to a different wallet address, to a fresh wallet address. And so it sort of obscures whose Bitcoin it is, right? After the CoinJoin, there's Bitcoin, and it's hard to tell, well, whose Bitcoin is that? Well, we don't know because it got all mixed together and joined and jumbled and everything. So, and that's the CoinJoin thing is what the government doesn't like, right? Because the government is going to want to track everything. So this CoinJoin thing especially is like, that's something the governments are coming after. And that's why you have several wallets and companies who do CoinJoin kind of things. They're stopping it, and they're also removing themselves from the U.S. market. So we'll see how this shakes out. Here's your reminder to subscribe. And let's get into some fiat government nonsense for context, because Bitcoin solves these issues. Yeah, the plan is not to fix it. Look, the $34 trillion U.S. debt is nearly as big as the economy, and there's still no plan to fix it. Yeah, because their plan is not to fix it. As FrogFriend17 says, the plan is not to fix it. The plan is to use it to keep stealing, so the government can keep stealing from the people and keep taking away freedoms and liberties. That's it. I just summed up the entire corruption of the government right there. And here's Bad Sam's posting, why isn't China concerned about climate change? Because they already have a communist government. So true, though. Oh, it's so true. And speaking of debt forgiveness, you can only forgive debt if it's your own money. Forcing others to pay for it isn't forgiveness, it is theft. Right? So all this debt, student debt forgiveness, what they're doing is they're taking your money and my money and paying off these other students' debts. I don't know them. Why am I paying for college for all these people? What do they pay? They're not paying me for anything, right? So this is it's theft. It's theft. That's all it is. And here's a great quote from the great Thomas Sowell about government. It is hard to imagine a more stupid or more dangerous way of making decisions than by putting those decisions in the hands of people who pay no price for being wrong. And this is the thing I talk about with people all the time. This is the problem with government people, anybody, everyone in government. They don't, even when they're wrong and even when they do really horrible things, they never pay any consequence. There's no consequence at all, ever. Maybe some slaps on the wrist here and there, but nothing. So the government isn't held accountable at all. And that's the problem, because they can just do the craziest thing they can think of, they can do, and they don't have to worry about it. All their friends in government are just going to let them off the hook. So, yeah, and here's Senator Cynthia Lummis. Oh, let me put that on the screen for a second. She's a U.S. Senator from Wyoming saying, "Come and take it." And just for this, I have my hat. Sorry, I'm switching screens and stuff. Anyway, she's arguing for, people's Bitcoin rights and miners' rights, and a lot. She's advocating for Bitcoin in the U.S. government, so that's a good thing. And here she's tweeting, "Come and take it." This is pretty interesting. So, all right, let's keep going. In terms of global adoption, look at this. Wait, did I miss something? No. Kenya's Treasury and Energy Ministries are working on a national strategy for Bitcoin. Kenya means business. Yeah, they're going to implement Bitcoin. They're going to start mining it. They're going to start using it, everything in time, right? It'll take time. It takes time, but same thing what El Salvador's doing, right? So Kenya's going to start. Good for them. You know what's going to be funny in the future? It's not going to be funny, but when, let's say, African countries or Asian countries who adopt Bitcoin earlier than the Western countries, like the big, England and the US and Germany and whatever, these smaller countries that adopt Bitcoin sooner, they're going to obviously buy Bitcoin and use Bitcoin, but they're going to accumulate Bitcoin, and then the value of their Bitcoin is going to go way up as Bitcoin goes up. And whereas countries like, more Western, bigger countries, if they don't adopt Bitcoin sooner rather than later, they're going to adopt it later, and they're going to be paying a much higher price for Bitcoin, right? So that's very interesting. And here is ex-PayPal president saying Bitcoin is the neutral settlement network for all payments in the world. I mean, yeah, so this is the thing, that Bitcoin can be the global reserve currency, or just the global reserve, because it's really it's property as well. So this is eventually going to happen. We know this, right? Bitcoin, as much as people love to oppose Bitcoin just steamrolls over everybody, every country, every organization, because you can't stop it. It's too good. It makes too much sense. It takes power away from the government that's stealing your money every day. That's what Bitcoin does. So we should all be adopting Bitcoin, and it is going to be the neutral settlement network for all the payments in the world. It really is. Why not? That's what the world needs. Instead of countries messing around with the fiat and stealing from people and printing money and inflation and everything, right? So here's a great video from Matthew Cratter today at Bitcoin University. The title is Bitcoin Mining Pool Centralization, Bad News. And he really does a good job. I mean, he makes great videos. You should watch his videos every day, right? But this is a great one because it teaches you about mining and how centralized mining is and the dangers of that. Very good video. And this is one of my original fractals. I just wanted to show you, one of my original fractal art pieces. So there you go. You enjoy that? All right. I hope you did. And here, this is the most important news of the day. Now you know. Okay, look. Now you know. This is how they built the pyramids. Come on, we know it. They used dinosaurs. Finally, we have photographic evidence. Geez. Well, this is our website, fractalbitcoin.com. Click this link on the top right here to join our locals community right here. Join our community. I'm putting up little videos every day exclusive to locals. So join. It's free and you can watch. And don't forget, tomorrow, which is Friday, and every Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern, we do the Bitcoin panel live stream. I have the one for tomorrow. Here's the artwork for tomorrow. Yeah, the Bitcoin panel. There you go. Now you can see it without me. Isn't that cool? A little lion and a bunch of sheep. Anyway, that's it for today. I appreciate you watching. Thanks for subscribing and following the channel and liking the video and all that. It really helps. I really appreciate all your comments too. Definitely say hi in the comments and definitely ask questions. And join our locals community. It's growing and shaping up. It's going to be great though. All right, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow for tomorrow's Bitcoin news video. All right, bye.